Hi friends, welcome back. Friends, in this video, we'll discuss about the Power Query editor in Microsoft Excel. Generally, we can see this Power Query editor in 2016 or later versions only like 2019, 2021 and in Office 365, we can access this Power Query editor. Actually, what is Power Query editor? What are the advantages and where we can use this Power Query editor? Generally, if you want to do any kind of ETL related things in the Excel, we don't have any options. For everything, we have to write some formulas by using some functions. It takes lots of time and it is very difficult to beginners. If the people who are not experts in the Excel, they cannot write every formula, right? That is the reason Microsoft introduced Power Query Editor in the year 2016 version, so that any person like either beginner or expert, he can do some kind of ETL like extract, data transformation, loading the data, everything we can do in the Power Query editor without writing any formulas, without using any functions. In a simple way, we can perform all the actions by using this Power Query editor. Generally, this Power Query editor, it will be very useful and very famous in the Power BI. But most of the people are using in Excel also. In the Excel also, this Power Query editor is very helpful. Without depends on any other ETL tools, directly we can use inside the Excel Power Query editor. For that, first of all, what we need just a software 2016 or newer version of MS Office. In that Excel also there. Then we can open the Power Query editor. We can perform what are the operations, what are the transformations we need inside this Power Query editor. First, we'll open the Excel like this. This is the Microsoft Excel interface, and go to the data tab and get data. Here we can see launch Power Query editor. Click on that launch Power Query editor. Right now I'm using Office 365. This is the Power Query editor interface. In this we have like title bar, tabs, file menu, and there are tabs like home tab, transform tab, add column and view also. First of all, we need some data to do some kind of transformation. First of all, we'll load some data into the Power Query editor. It may be any data source like Microsoft Excel, Notepad, CSV files, SQL, any data source file. First go to the home tab and click on new source and just click on file, database, Power Platform, Azure, any other data sources. Now I wanted to load the data from the Excel. Then go to this new source, go to the file, click on Excel workbook. We can load the data directly from the Excel workbook like sales report, import. Now it is loading the data into this Power Query editor. Now in this, what are the sheets you have? You can choose anything. For example, I want sales data. Click on OK. Otherwise, directly in the Excel, you can open this Excel file like I'm taking sales report. Select the data and convert to the table format. Then go to the data from a table or range. See, this is the way also we can load the data into the Power Query editor. One is just go to the new source and you can take the data from the file. Otherwise, directly in the Excel itself, you can open or else you can enter some data. Then after, convert the data into the table format. Then go to the data tab, click on from a table or range. Directly, it will open the Power Query editor. Now here, you can do anything like any kind of transformation. You can see we are extracting the data and we are going to do transformation. After that, we'll load the data into the Microsoft Excel. We'll see the interface of this Power Query editor. Already just we discussed, these are the tabs and every tab having the ribbon, and you can see the queries. Okay, in the queries left side part, we can see the name of these queries, and in the right side query settings, under that properties and applied steps. In the properties, we'll give the name of this query. For example, here I'm giving sales report. Then press enter. Look at there in the left side queries also, it becomes a sales report. Now coming to this applied steps, What is mean by applied steps? What are the things we are performing in this data? Every step it will create here itself. In case whenever if you wanted to roll back that step, then automatically we'll get our own previous data. So here applied steps, in that first one, source nothing but from where we are taking the data, and just change the data types. Now we can see the list of columns like product, customer, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Now here in the home tab, there are so many options. See, first of all, here you can see this refresh preview. For example, if you are doing any changes in the source data, for example, this data was taken from the sales report file. In the sales report file, if I am doing any changes, like if I am updating something, automatically the data should be updated here also. Then we can say refresh preview. We'll get the updated data, new data here. And there is an advanced editor. In the advanced editor, it is showing some kind of scripting. This is called what? M language. M code, M language. Okay, by this script, you can create another query in other workbook, in other file also. And here also, you can choose the columns. For example, choose columns. In the choose columns, what you will do? What are the columns you want to display? For example, I don't want this quarter 2. Unselect it. Okay. See here, product, customer, quarter 1, quarter 3, quarter 4 only. There is no quarter 2. Why? Because just we removed the column from this query. Now, if you want, again, just go to the choose columns. You can select the quarter 2. Otherwise, you can remove this step. See, quarter 2, we can see now. Now, we got this quarter 2 roll back. Why? Because just we remove the steps. Go to the choose columns. Choose columns. Here you can choose the columns. What are the columns you want? You can select it or unselect it. Next, in the choose columns itself, there is an option called go to column. Go to column nothing but, there are so many columns, like hundreds or 200s of columns. We cannot search the columns one by one in the data. So it is very difficult. Directly go to the choose column and click on go to column. You can select, for example, I want to go to the quarter 4. Select the quarter 4, click on OK. See, it will be selected automatically. So go to the choose column, then go to column. You can select the column. Say OK, product this time. See, product got selected. This is how just you can search the columns also. And in case if you don't want column, you can say remove columns. So remove columns means selected columns only get deleted. But in case there are so many columns, like there are 50 columns, in that I want only the 5 columns. Remaining 45 columns I wanted to remove. So selecting that 45 columns and deleting the columns, it's very difficult task. Otherwise, select that 5 columns and you can say remove other columns. So except that 5 columns, remaining all other 45 columns are going to deleted. And same like keep rows also, keep top rows, keep bottom rows, keep range of rows, keep duplicates, keep errors. And remove also, remove the top row, remove bottom, remove the duplicates. Alternative means one after another. So remove blank rows, everything, like directly without doing any calculations, without writing any functions, formulas, directly with these options we can do some transformation in the data. And you can do sort also. For example, I want to do sort based on the customer. Select the customer, click on sort A to Z. Look at there, Z to A. Okay, again go to the product A to Z. Look at that. Here you can see the steps also. And here these all options, like you can delete the rows, columns, choose the rows, columns, and sorting. Now I'm just removing this sort rows. We'll get original data. And we can split the data also, split the columns also with the delimiter. Delimiter means separator. So first product, select the column, any column, click on by delimiter. Now, which delimiter, either space or comma, colon, semicolon, anything. If you want custom, just go to the custom. In the custom, you can type anything. For example, I'm giving comma, 0, hyphen, is equal to. You can take any separator, but here I'm taking space. Okay. So here you can choose each occurrence of the delimiter or leftmost delimiter. So leftmost means till first space, before that in one column, after that in other columns. but I'm taking each occurrence of the delimiter, like in every spaces, just I'm going to break the data. Okay, see here, product 1, product 2, product 3. See, first word, second word, third word, fourth word. See, in some products we have multiple, like we have till 5 columns, that is why. So just close this step. So go to the split column. You can split by delimiter, number of characters, number of position, and lowercase to uppercase, uppercase, lowercase. You can perform anything, and you can change the data type also. For example, this is just a decimal number. We can change to this currency. Replace or else new step, anything is fine. Just select it. Okay, and press shift to select the last one. It will select all the columns. Otherwise, if you wanted to select one by one, just to select the first column and control select another column. Next, delimiter, click on currency. See here, look at that. All this just we converted the data, normal data, into the currency format. Here in the data type, you can change to decimal, currency, whole number, percentage, date to time, any format we can change. Next, in case sometimes headings, that top column will not come in the top. Okay, then you can say use first row as headers. Okay, sometimes you can say column 1, column 2, column 3. Instead of that column names, that column names will come in the second row. Then you can say use first row as headers. And in case if there are anything, just you can replace the values also. For example, here just replace values. In this, in the place of zeros, I want to write something. In the place of zeros, we'll give some values like 10. Then okay. See, if there is a 0, automatically that becomes a 10. Like this, you can replace with any text, any values based on the data type in the corresponding columns. And you can merge the queries also. Merge the queries means like there are 2 queries, means 2 tables. Just if you wanted to merge the 2 tables into one table. Okay, that means we are merging the columns, not the rows. In the first table, we have 3 columns. In the second table, means second query or table, another 3 or 4 columns. Will together all the 2 queries, 2 tables. And append queries means adding the records, data. Okay, in the first one, we have some 20 records, 20 rows. In the second one, we have 30 rows. Totally 50 rows will take together. But while appending all the 2 tables having same columns, same data types, same sizes, then only we are able to append the rows. And in the merging also, merge queries means for this existing, we are going to add the new query, new table. Merge query as new means these 2 tables we are creating as a third table, another table. Same like append also. In the append queries, so 2 queries, 2 tables we are taking together. For the first table, we are adding to the second table. Append query as new means these 2 tables are creating as a third table. After adding these 2 tables, it will create a third table. Next, you can create the parameters also, data source settings also we have. See, from where we are taking this data source and permissions. And there is a new source. From this new source, you can import the data from the different sources. For example, I can take from Excel, text files, XML, JSON, PDF, SharePoint, like SQL Server databases, Access, Oracle, IBM DB2, Sybase, Teradata. So any data, just you can load it. And you can create the table also by using this enter data. So these all options from the home tab. And coming to this next two tabs, we have transform as well as add columns. So in the transform, you can see few options are similar to add column also. But what is the difference between transform and add column is, in the transform, if you are doing any transformation, the result will be there in the same column. It will not create another column. But coming to this add column, if you are doing anything for this example customer column, the result will come in the next column. It will create another separate new column. For example, here, if I am doing anything, like if I am splitting the columns or else doing some format, converting the lowercase, uppercase, anything, it will be applicable for the corresponding customer column only. If you are doing in the transform tab, but coming to this add column, if you are performing anything like format or any other things, that result will create in the new column. Okay, we'll see that options also. Now coming to this transform, there is a Same use first row as headers, transform rows to columns, columns to rows, reverse rows, count rows. Just you can click on the count rows. How many? 277. Just close this, applied step. And you can change the data type. Data type protector, rename the column, replace the values, and fill also, fill down, fill up, like in the same like in the Excel also. Here alias button. Below this there are some blanks. Then you can fill down. And pivot also, pivot and unpivot. So same like transpose. Pivot means columns to rows, unpivot means rows to columns. And you can move this to left to right, this column. For example, customer is there. You can move to the left. See, move to the right, left to right, right to left. Reorder the columns. Next, in the transform, you can convert the list and you can split the columns. You can do format. For example, just I want product this to uppercase. See, customer to lowercase. You can convert anything like trim, clean, prefix. You can add the prefix. We can add the suffix, and you can extract it. Length, number of characters, how many letters before the delimiter. And this select these two columns. You can merge as a single column. Merge column, you can give any name and say okay. See, it becomes a single column, merging the two columns. Just I don't want, I am removing the step. And you can perform this count to distinct also. And these are all statistics. Select this quarter one. You can go for minimum, maximum, average, count and all. And standard, addition, multiplication, subtraction, scientific, power, square root, trigonometric. And if it is date and time, just you can go there and you can separate, you can extract the date to time also. We'll discuss this date after some time. Now go to the same things we have in the add column also. Okay. For example, just we'll convert this product into this capitalize each word. See, I'm in the add column. Click on capitalize each word. See, it will create another extra column. Previously we have 6 columns. Now it is 7th column. Capitalize each word. Close this. So there is a difference. In the transform, the result will display in the same column, and add column means it is going to create another column, new column. Next, almost the options are similar except this difference. There is an index column also there. Okay, I want to create some index column. Go to the index column where it starts from 1. See, it will be created in the end. Now just right click. You can move to beginning. See, it will come in the starting. You can say like index column from 0, wherever you want. For example, I don't want, just to close it. We'll create the index column. Go to the custom. I want to start it from 1000 and increment by 1. So now 1000, 1001 like this. Look at there. Same like, just right click, move to beginning. See, by right clicking on the column, you can see all the options: copy, remove, duplicate, all the options. Move to the beginning. See here, like index column. And you can do duplication also, format, extract, all this, everything is same, like standard, scientific, information, all are same what we discussed in the transform tab. Now you can create the custom column also. Next, coming to this view, in the view you can see some formula bar. Just remove the formula bar and query settings. This is the right side query settings, formula bar, and column quality, how many valid values, how many errors, how many empty, all this. Column profile, count, distinct, unique, min, max, everything, average in the column profile. And go to column means just you can specify which column you want to see. Okay, all this, all the options. Okay, so there are some more advanced options also there. I'm not discussing here. Okay, we'll discuss later. Now finally, if you want to load all this data into this Excel, just click on close and load. Now it is loading as a table format in the Excel after doing all the transformations in the Power Query editor. Now you can perform anything, and in case if you wanted to go to the Power Query editor again, you can just double click here also. It will goes to the Power Query editor. Close and load. Now here I'm taking some dates. Date. Just random dates. Now Control T, converting to the table. Go to the data tab. Click on from table or range. It will open the Power Query editor. See. Now here in the add column, you can see some date. See, previously we don't have date column in the sales report. That's why I didn't explain all this. From this, you can create the calendar. Okay, so there is a date to time. Now, date only. It is date time. Date. Next, here we'll extract the year. From this date, we'll extract the name of the month. From this date, go to the date, start of year. Date, month. Select the date, go to the date, see, day of the week, day of the year, name of the day. See, all this. So like this, you can extract anything, and age also. You can find the age and everything. Whatever you want, you can create it. Like this, we are going to create the calendar table by using only one date column. All this day, age, month, year, everything we can calculate without using any formulas, any functions. Now finally go to the home tab, click on close and load. See here, that calendar table we loaded into the Microsoft Excel. Again, from here onwards, you can perform any transformation in the Excel also. Whatever you want, you can do in the Excel itself. See, we have all the tabs, all the options. We can do pivot tables, lookup. So the data is in by default table format. I think, we can convert to the range also in case if you want. See, there are two. Just double click on any one. It will load to the Power Query editor. You can see here. Here I'm taking in the place of table for calendar. Close and load. See, sales report, calendar. There are two tables. In the Power Query, we call it as queries. Once after loading into the Excel, this becomes the tables. So friends, this is the complete Power Query editor tutorial. So I explained everything mostly except the pivot, the advanced concepts. So this is very useful, very important for Excel as well as Power BI also. Friends, I hope you like this video. Please do subscribe our channel and share our videos to your friends also. Once again, thank you friends.